Top 20 best rappers under 30. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I got a new list for us to argue about thanks to Complex, okay? Let's get into this. The number one rapper, as you can see, Playboi Carti. This is the full list. The first one I have to pick with that. Playboi Carti allegedly is only turning 30 this September. Allegedly. But my problem with that is someone like Megan Thee Stallion, who only turned 30 this February, she's apparently not eligible. Now, as you can see, this is the top 20 list. Why don't we get into what they use to categorize these quote-unquote best rappers? And I know some of y'all don't know who these ninjas are. I wouldn't too if this wasn't part of my job. But I do know almost all of them. And let's get into that category stuff, the way to categorize it. They say, so what do we mean by when we say best, right? We define best by a combination of factors. Music making ability and technical skill matter, but so do catalog, how well they turn ideas into projects, impact and anticipation from fans. I do find it interesting. You don't specifically use the word lyricism, but I guess technical skills applies to that, if you see where I'm trying to go with this. Anyway, historical achievements count, but we focus on their impacts on the zeitgeist right now. This is a snapshot, so what we've done in the past. So what they've done in the past year, what they're poised to do in the near future is what we care about. That means rappers we love, but who have been unusual and quiet, looking at you, Baby Keem, aren't eligible. I don't like that either. I think if Baby Keem were to just drop something right now, the streets would flock to it. I don't know how active we want rappers to be. Okay, whatever. Y'all can have it. I just think that's a little unfair to Baby Keem. But let's go back to that top 20 list. I will most certainly. Now, I've looked at some of these people they're also closer to 32 as well. 30 as well, not 32, but you get the point. I would probably move some people up here. I have a newfound sort of respect for Rod Wave and his impact on this culture. I just don't think people really see. I learned earlier, late last year, people don't really understand like the impact that Rod Wave has. So I would probably move him up. Central C being at 6 is impressive considering he's not a U.S. act. NBA Youngboy, same thing. I'll probably move him up. Yeet, Playboi Carti, and Doechii. I think Playboi Carti, Yeet. I've seen their impact. Doechii, I think, is still growing. She's going to get a lot of hate for being number 2 here. But I think her impact with Alligator Bites Never Heals and, what she's surrounded around right now, she has a lot of potential to really validate this number 2 spot. I look at Doechii a little differently than how people look at her. But for me, if I were to move her down, I would move Rod Wave up. Young Boy Never Broke Again. I would probably be higher. I don't know what they're doing there. And then Lil Tecca too has impressed. Doja Cat, I don't always usually consider as like your typical rapper, so things get really complicated. But there are some names on here, unless I'm missing something, that I would most certainly move up. I would keep them closer to where at least Doechii is, if not higher than Doechii. That doesn't, all right. A few things that I also have a problem with. I guess Cash Cobain as a rapper, whatever, I get it, but I think his strongest suites are like things that he does in production and things like that. Those are strong points. Now, Junior Lil Yachty does feel weird because them boys been in the game for so long that it's like, oh, you being in top 20's best rapper kind of feels odd. Sexy Red feels impactful thanks to the CIA. But anyway, and some other guys I want to point out here. Nino Payne, Nino Payne and Two Hollis and Ken Carson were this year discoveries for me. So I know some of y'all might not know them because you don't do this. So yeah. But anyway, that's all I got. And Big X the Plug, I guess, does feel a little high as well. But I think they're giving him a lot of credit for like what he's doing hand in hand with country. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, good talk. I don't hate the list, but they're my dings for it. And I do want to say the same thing that I kind of said about Doja Cat applies to a lot of people on this list. Two Hollis, some Nino Payne, Big X the Plug, Ken Carson, a lot of experimentation and sounds. And I think this was very important. I should have put it at the beginning. It's going to be a bigger theme going in hip hop going forward.